Hi there, and thanks for watching. This time I'm showing how I selected and installed all-terrain tires on my Subaru to give it more of a rally look. And yes, I know these aren't real rally tires, but real rally tires are very expensive and have a very short life. But the all-terrain serve a good purpose. They give the Subaru fantastic grip on rough roads, gravel, and snow. They also have very good life, tough against punctures, and they actually handle very well. You see, after Hurricane Helene, the area I live in suffered massive damage to many of the roads I daily drive. Keep in mind, this footage was taken about 3 weeks after heavy cleanup by the highway department. It was much worse than this earlier. After this caused an irreparable puncture in one of my old tires, I decided to try something different. So here's how I selected the tires. I use Tire Rack because they provide very specific dimensions for all the tires they have listed. First, look up the factory original tire size. Metric tire sizes are far more common these days. These include 3 numbers. The first number, 205 in this case, is the width of the tire in millimeters. The second number is the height of the sidewall as a percentage of the width. So in this case, 50% of 205 or 102.5 millimeter sidewall. The final number is the rim diameter in inches. There isn't a lot of variety of categories available for the size, mainly just highway touring, and the price typically ranging from $120 to $200. Pick any tire, then click to see specifications. At this point, we'll be most interested in the overall diameter and the revs per mile. These will be a good guide to look for a replacement tire. Another important number to keep an eye on will be the rim width range. And I do want to make a note about the tire weight. Now navigate to tire ratings by category. Tire Rack lists the tires I'm looking for as on-road all-terrain. Select this and clear the tire size to see all available. Tires are ranked by customer feedback. This seems to work well enough, so let's click on the first option. Click on Specifications and view all sizes. They will be listed in order of rim size, so scroll over to the wheel size needed, in my case 17 inches. Look for tires with similar revs per mile as the OEM spec. For this tire, everything is way too big. So back out and try the next on the list. Hey, 800 revs per mile. That's less than 5% different, so that won't really make a noticeable difference on the speedometer. I do have to point out this tire is about an inch bigger diameter. It will be important to check for clearance issues. My Subaru has a 1.5 inch lift, so I have room. The ideal rim width is actually a better fit too. The tires are a little heavier though, something to keep in mind. This will cost us some fuel economy and slow acceleration a touch. You can click on this size and see the price. It's actually on the cheaper end. Alright! Pick up one of these valve stem tools. They're pretty cheap and available at any auto parts store. Use the tool to remove the valve from the valve stem. This will allow the tire to fully deflate. Save the valve if you're going to reuse your valve stem. Here I'm crudely trying to show how the tool fits the valve. The shape of the wheel typically dictates the tire needs to be removed from the front face of the wheel, so let's break this bead first. That bead broke pretty easy, so in case yours is causing you trouble, here's an old trailer tire I worked on. If stuck, work your way around the rim. This will break the rubber loose as you go until the tire finally slips off the bead. Just be patient. I usually start the irons at the valve stem. There is a deeper part of the wheel called the well behind the bead. I'm pressing the opposite side of the tire down into this well. Forgetting to do this can make a simple job very, very hard. Work around the tire with 3 irons. You may need to check the tire is pressed into the well as you go. Now go back and break the rear bead. This next part is a little more tricky. I usually stand the wheel upright and get an iron in place, then lay everything down together. Use the spoon end of the iron to gradually pry the wheel out of the tire. When you get about halfway around, the wheel will simply pull free. I recommend replacing valve stems. They can dry rot and cause a leak. This car had TPMS, but it doesn't work anyway, so I'm removing the sensors and setting them aside for now. When I worked on these tires, my method was to cut away from the back side of the valve stem so I could pull it out by hand. But do yourself a favor. A few weeks later, when working on those trailer tires, I bought a tool that gives you leverage to remove the stem in one go. And my new tires showed up just in time. If the weather is cold, leave these out in the sun if you can. The warmer they are, the easier they'll be to work with. On the new valve stems, add a few drops of liquid dish soap on the seating surface. This will help lubricate during the install and also dry to help ensure the seal. Then use your valve stem tool to pull them through until they snap into place. Before you go mount your new tires, make sure they don't need to be oriented a certain way. Treads that have a chevron pattern will likely have a rotation direction. You'll need to mount two each way and mount them accordingly on the car. Some tires may also have an inside or outside designation. All-terrain tires typically don't have a direction, but the printing may be different and it depends on your preference. These have a more aggressive font on one side, and I thought it would be cool to have this on the outside. Take a minute to check that your tire is oriented correctly before starting. This is the part I struggle most with. The best I could figure is to use the spoon side of the iron to try and pry the tire over the rim. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. The outside is much easier. Just use 3 irons to work around. Don't forget though, once you start working your way around, you'll have to get that part of the tire inside the well. This will be nearly impossible if you don't. Sometimes, you'll need a little help getting the tire down into the well. Just use the bead breaker to give a little leverage. You see, I'm doing some sort of weird yoga pose to manage all 3 irons. A better idea is to find a workbench or table to hold down that first iron. These Subaru wheels were pretty beat up by the previous owner, so I didn't worry much about it. But when I mounted the trailer tires, the wheels were freshly painted. Use rim protectors to prevent scratches. Setting the bead can be a whole other can of worms. I really try to avoid the ether method. It helps to remove the valve from the stem and spray soapy water around the bead. I've had decent luck with the bubble balancer. Get it to wobble around to help it find a good center. If you're going from a good brand of tire to another good brand, typically the wheel weights do not need to be moved. Then just put the wheels back on the car. Be sure to pay attention to which side though if the tires were directional. And that wraps up this project. I'm hoping I could help you out on your projects, or at least give you some motivation. Thank you for watching.